you know, after the first day of recording, I was sort of sitting on the sofa, and Joby was just getting a kind of what he called a palette, which I love, of sounds that he wanted to use across the record. And he sat down, and he's got these incredible instruments. He's got a Wurlitzer, an old Wurlitzer. He's got an old Rhodes. He's got an old Hammond organ. He's got a Celeste keyboard and a Moog keyboard. And so he was just like kind of playing all these sounds against the song. You know, I'd put down guitar and vocals, and he was playing all these sounds against that. And I just knew that it was going to be beautiful, and so I just kind of went, oh, okay.
I heard some snippets that she sent me, some MP3s of material she'd been working on, and so I had a kind of a vibe, and also, I mean, I knew her from being a kid, you know, so it's quite funny how we change, but essentially we're you know, we hold on to who we are. And so I had definitely a feeling of who she was as an artist and a singer, and it's beautiful to experience these songs as she's matured and gone through life, you know. And there's been a lot going on in her life with you know, dear friends and her mother passing, and the songs are very sort of poignant expression of where she's at in her life right now.
I go way back, so Joby and I were at school together. We had a little band, and we played a couple of gigs. I think actually the first gig I ever played was with Joby. And Joby's mum was an incredible singer-songwriter. And I met her, and so Joby was like at school, he was like a fellow muso, you know. I was playing guitar. I had written a few new songs a while ago, actually, and they just kind of came out of me, really, you know, as they do. And I hadn't really, I didn't do it kind of thinking that I was going to be making a new album.
She had a beautiful body of songs that we sort of dressed up, you know, here, just the two of us mostly. We had a few other musicians involved too, and it's a wonderful record that's been born, you know, and yeah, I'm very, very honoured and blessed to have her here and be part of this.
Right. And saw that he'd worked with all these incredible people like Cowboy Junkies and the Bills and Tony Childs. I wrote back and I just said, wow, you know, we have to work together and we've got to do something. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I just got in touch with him and he said, let's do it. And then everything changed, really, because my mother died. And then a couple of weeks after my mother died, I very suddenly lost a very close friend who was diagnosed with cancer. We didn't know that he had it, and he died very quickly. And that had a huge effect on this album, really, and on the songs that I then consequently wrote. So I really did hit the ground running, and so the making of this album really has been a kind of working through of grief. I was exhausted, I wasn't sleeping, and I was in a lot of pain.
Her songwriting and sort of structure, word structure and everything is very poetic and very powerful, and we really sort of created something that represents what she wants to say well in a very cinematic. I don't want to say too grandiose because we only had 2 weeks to do it in, but it's. I think we did a good job, and I'm really loving the songs that she wrote.